TCP, the widely popular transport protocol that ensures that your YouTube search for Sir Citrus does not turn into this, has some fundamental problems. Ones that were not such a big deal when TCP was first introduced in 1981. This has to do with the fact that TCP is slow. With the rise of video streaming, file sharing, and real-time communications, we're feeling the need to grow out of this TCP era. Because of how this protocol is designed and how difficult it is to change or update it, there is very little that can be done to make TCP not slow. In today's video, we're going to take a look at why TCP is deemed slow and what is being done to overcome this problem. Before I proceed with the video, I just want to clarify that when I say that TCP is slow, I'm talking about the problem that is widely known as the TCP Slow Start. To understand more about this, we need to take a look at three things. What is TCP, TCP Handshake, and TCP Congestion Control. I won't dive into the OSI model right now, and if you already know what TCP is, then feel free to skip to the next section. But essentially, TCP, which stands for Transmission Control Protocol, is a protocol which ensures reliable transmission of data. HTTP, which is a communication protocol, is built on top of TCP, and HTTP is responsible for fetching this video you're watching now. So yeah, TCP is an integral part of today's internet. For TCP to ensure that data is sent and received reliably, it needs to create a connection, and the way it does that is known as the TCP three-way handshake. During this process, the client sends a SYN packet to the server, which then sends a SYN ACK packet. In the last step, the client sends an ACK packet and the connection gets established. The two devices can now send data through this connection. Something to note here is that TCP takes one round trip to establish a connection before it can send or receive any actual data, and this understandably takes some time. However, in today's age, we also need to be able to send and receive data securely so that the third party cannot snoop in and get access to this data. For this, we have TLS, which exchanges cryptographic keys between the two devices and creates an encrypted connection. And this TLS handshake takes 2 round trips. So we have 3 round trips to deal with just to open a connection. This can add significant latency if the client and the server are situated quite far apart. Let's say I want to upload my YouTube video. After the connection has been established with the whole 3-way handshake process out of the way, I cannot just start sending loads of information. TCP has something called the Congestion Control window, which defines how much data I'm able to send at a particular time. After the connection is established, this window starts off with a small value. This is called the TCP Slow Start phase. This window is defined by the receiving server. In our example, let's say I'm allowed to send 1 packet in the beginning. After the server receives this and sends an acknowledgement, the window increases. With every acknowledgement, this window increases exponentially. So after my browser receives acknowledgement from the YouTube server that it received my packet, the window size increases to 2. With the next acknowledgement, it increases to 4, 8, and so on. So essentially the window size increases with every round trip, and hence the round trip time plays an important role in how fast you're able to send data. This congestion control mechanism is quite important in that it prevents network congestion and also makes sure that the server is able to handle all the data it is receiving. So if a network is congested, you might drop a few packets and TCP notices that a few packets are missing and it asks them to be resent. At the same time, it decreases the congestion control window since clearly the network is congested and is not being able to handle that much traffic. The window now increases gradually with time instead of exponentially, dropping back down again if there's any loss of packets. So now that we know what the problem is and why it is occurring, we can try to improve the situation. Reducing the round trip time and, if possible, reducing the actual number of round trips will lead to an increase in performance. TCP Fast Open was actually introduced for this purpose. It was able to reduce the number of round trips by 1 for clients communicating with a server they had previously connected with. So if you are visiting a website you had previously visited, chances are you are hitting the same server. So This time there is one less round trip involved. This means you can send out the first packet sooner, and over time, as the congestion control window increases exponentially, the difference of one round trip time builds up. However, TCP Fast Open could not really be deployed at a global scale because of middle boxes. Middle boxes are intermediary devices that lie between the client and the server. So things like your router, for example. Most of these devices do not really support TCP Fast Open, and because of these devices, you cannot really make major changes to TCP without breaking things. Luckily, we have a new protocol on the horizon, and it's called QUIC. Google has actually already started implementing QUIC in several of their services and has seen positive results. QUIC takes just one round trip for establishing a secure connection. So instead of like 3 round trips, one for TCP and then 2 for TLS, QUIC does all of that in just one round trip. QUIC also has some other benefits over TCP, but I won't go into them now. Maybe in a later video. This is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, then do give this video a thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel.